Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Jacqueline and in today's video I'm going to show you 3 super easy and super simple recipes that are perfect for Thanksgiving. So I know Thanksgiving can be a hard time. I know the holidays in general can be a hard time to stick to your fitness goals, to eat your healthy foods. One of my tips that I like to do that has helped me is I like to bring a side dish with me, or if I'm cooking at my house, make sure I have options available for me that aren't just for me, but that everyone else can enjoy as well. And I can snack on the things that I bring or that I have. And I can still have the experience of, eating with other people, my family and my friends, without going crazy and stuffing my face with all the other delicious food that is around and out. So I'm going to show you my 3 favorite recipes that I can't live without and that are perfect for Thanksgiving. So let's just go ahead and get started with the first recipe. So the first one is one I actually remember having all the time for Thanksgiving. My mom hosts Thanksgiving at her house, and everyone goes to my mom's house. And me and my mom actually serve dinner to everyone. We all sit down, and I help her. We start with soup and salad, and then we get to the main course, and then we have our dessert. But this is always the salad we start with on Thanksgiving, so I'm going to be sharing with you guys this little family salad, little secret that my family enjoys every Thanksgiving. And it's super easy. So right here, I just have a bowl of butter lettuce. You can use any lettuce you want, but I really love the butter lettuce, especially with this salad. And then I have some pomegranates, which they're really sweet and tart, so it gives it really a nice crunch in the salad as well. And if you haven't tried pomegranates, they're really, really good, and I highly suggest that you give them a try. I know pomegranates are actually my cousin's, one of his favorite things about Thanksgiving. And so my mom always has this salad, but then she'll save him an extra little bowl so he can just pour the whole thing on his salad as well and then take some home with him, which he loves. I also have some dried cranberries. Make sure if you're looking for them though that you don't get ones that have added sugar to them. I know dried fruit can be a little bit tricky because there's a lot of added sugar sometimes. So just make sure you get the lower sugar, or make sure that there's no sugar added. Those are the best type. And then I have some light champagne vinaigrette, which is just the dressing that's going to go on top. You can always sprinkle some Parmesan cheese, or my mom likes to make little crunchy Parmesan crisps as like a side thing. But, I just like the salad, so I'm just going to be focusing on the salad. And again, you can add anything you want, but it's literally just as simple as this. So you have your bowl of butter lettuce. You're going to sprinkle your pomegranates. And again, it depends on what program or whatever you're following about like how much of like fruits or nuts or dressing or that you get. But for Thanksgiving, it's a salad. It has all these healthy ingredients in it. I don't think we need to be too concerned with it. But if you are, another good way is to just bring all of these things on the side, and then everyone can add in as much almonds or pomegranates or cranberries, even dressing as they want, instead of mixing it in a big bowl. But now I'm going to add the cranberries, which are my favorite part. And then I'm going to add the little slivered almonds. You could do whole almonds. You could do a different kind of nut if you want. And again, I'll leave some of the measurements below. We don't really measure. Let me just put it in. It's really, we just kind of eyeball it and make enough for everyone. There's usually about 10 people who are at my Thanksgiving. So we just make a big enough bowl where everyone has a little plate full, and then there's always a little bit extra. And at this point, you can just leave it like this, have the dressing on the side, pass it around, or you can pour it in, toss it together, and just eat it like that and serve it with the dressing. So again, the amount kind of depends, but you really don't need too much. And if you don't like the light dressing, you want to make your own, go ahead and do it. The thing with this salad is it's so easy, but it's so good. And the colors with the cranberries and the pomegranates, it's just very festive. I love that word, festive. I love the holidays, so. Then you can cover this up, put it in the refrigerator so it's ready to serve, or just leave it out like this. I would recommend pouring the dressing on right before you're gonna serve it if you are pouring the dressing on. Or like I said, put it in a little cup or serve it as it is, and people can pour on the amount, or little cups on the side, and they can eat it that way as well. So this, how beautiful. It's so simple, like I said, what took me like not even 5 minutes, and you have a beautiful dish that you can bring that everyone enjoys, and it's not just your separate food, but something that everyone can enjoy as well. So the next recipe I'm going to share with you is for a carrot salad. And it's actually a salad that my friend's mom makes all the time. And I begged her to have the recipe so I can share it with you guys, and I can also make it for myself because it's literally one of my favorite things in the entire world. You can ask my friend and her husband and his mom that every time I'm at their house, I'm like, do you have the carrot salad? Can you make the carrot salad? So this year for Thanksgiving, I'm going to be making the carrot salad for my friends and family. So thank you, Shirley, for sharing the recipe. So this recipe is as easy as the last, but there's just a few more ingredients. So I'm going to start off with some shredded carrots. Put that into a bowl. And then, so before I keep going, I'm kind of changing this recipe up a little bit. I'll leave the exact recipe down below so you can follow it. But I'm not adding sugar or added salt, just a personal preference. And I'm going to maybe add the whole amount of olive oil, but I think about half the amount that it calls for is kind of perfect. So again, customize it, leave things out, do things differently if you want to. Just kind of do what works for you. Okay? Okay, let's keep going now. So I'm gonna do the olive oil. I didn't end up doing the whole thing, but I'll save it in case I want to. And then there's the lemon juice. So now I'm gonna add some Dijon mustard, and this is the whole grain kind. I'm gonna put that. And I'm gonna kind of toss this all together. So then I'm going to put the cranberries, forgot a little guy, and the slivered almonds. And kind of get that mixed as well. It smells so good. Literally, I'll go to their house for birthday parties or gatherings or barbecues, and the first thing they say is, we have carrot salad. And I make sure everyone gets their portion, and then I literally finish the bowl. It's so good, and that's not a lie. So then I'm gonna put some parsley. I think I cut too much, so I'm just gonna kind of sprinkle some in. Again, not really following the recipe, you know, I am, but. And it also calls for onions, but ain't nobody got time for onions. I like cooked onions, but that's the one thing with this salad is you'll see it on my plate. It's devoured, but there'll be little pieces of onions if I can pick them out. Cooked onions are all right, but there's something about raw onions. Let me just put a little bit more. And we are done. So it's best to cover it and put it in the fridge for about 2 hours or overnight so all the flavors really come together and make it really delicious. So this is perfect to make ahead of time the night before Thanksgiving. Throw it in your fridge, pop it on out, and you'll be a superstar. I promise you, if you bring this, you're gonna be the star of the show, and it is so good. smells like happiness. So I'm gonna cover this up and put this into the fridge if I can resist. Maybe I'll have a bite or two before I put it in. So let's get going on the third and final recipe. See, I told you these were super easy. So for my final dish, I'm gonna be making a cauliflower and Brussels sprout stuffing type thing. So I'm kind of going off the recipe, kind of doing my own thing. Like I said, the exact recipe will be down below, but I'm kind of doing it to fit my, what I want, what I like. So that's what I'm doing. So to start, I'm gonna turn on this thing if it doesn't catch me on fire first. Whoopsies, wrong one. On medium heat. And the first thing I'm changing about this recipe is I'm using turkey bacon. You can leave the bacon, it's very potent. You can leave the bacon out altogether, or you can use regular bacon. Poor piggies. But you can do whatever you want to do. Not that I don't have sympathy for turkeys, but here we go. So I'm going to cook up the turkey bacon until it gets nice and crunchy. And then I have a plate here with a paper towel that I'm just going to leave the bacon on to kind of drain. And then we'll get going on the rest of it. Again, this recipe is super easy. You guys can tell by the theme of how these side dishes are going. They're all really delicious, very few ingredients, not ingredients that are hard to find or that you need so many of, which is what I like. If you have to buy a whole bunch of ingredients, then you'll never use something again. That's the type of recipes that I don't make. So I hope you guys are liking all of these recipes. And again, if you try them out, let me know. So I'm just gonna let this crunch up and then we'll check on it in a little bit. It's looking like it's done, so I'm gonna put it on this paper towel while I cook up the rest of the vegetables. So now that I have my crispy bacon over here on the paper towel, I'm gonna use the same pan and put some Brussels sprouts in. Measurements will be down below, but I don't really measure my vegetables like this. Just for me, I can eat like unlimited, like non-starchy vegetables, so I don't usually measure any of that. But if you want to measure and track, go ahead and find the measurements down below. So I'm gonna let this cook for a little bit, and I'm also gonna add a little bit of vegetable stock. I know the recipe calls for chicken stock. You can use either one, but I had some vegetable stock, so. Ow! Steamy. And what it's going to do is it's just going to help get all the flavor from the bacon at the bottom and help it go through all of your vegetables. So we're going to let that cook. I've also left out a few different ingredients as well. But like I said, if you want to follow my recipe, go ahead and follow my recipe, which it's just cook as much vegetables as you want, pretty much. And then for vegetable stock or chicken stock, I would just do it like I did it. Just pour a little bit, coat kind of the vegetables, get some of the flavoring off the bottom, and then I kind of just add as I need more. But I typically don't use more than around half a cup, I would say. So now that these are starting to get nice and cooked and soft, I'm going to add cauliflower rice. Now this is one of the differences that I do instead of what the recipe calls for, because the recipe calls for like 3 different types of regular rice. And I eat rice, I eat carbs. That's not what I'm saying is not to eat it. But I feel like for this recipe, I like how it's all vegetables with a little bit of bacon. I don't need to worry about the added rice in this. I can get rice from maybe having little sweet potatoes or mashed potatoes with dinner instead of just having it in this side dish of this stuffing. And I think it's totally fine with just vegetables, but again, do what works for you. So I'm going to put the riced cauliflower And you can buy it riced already, which is what I would recommend because it makes it so much easier. It's already smelling so good. And as you can see, I'm not cooking with any added oils or any butter. I never usually cook my vegetables in oil or butter. I like seasoning it other ways. So again, completely up to you, but this recipe does call for quite a bit of butter. So, and you can always do half the amount too. I mean, when you're cooking stuff like this, you really don't need to follow an exact measurement. Unless that's part of like your diet or your lifestyle, like you like having everything measured out and portioned out, then totally measure it out, do your thing. But otherwise, especially when it's just vegetables, you know, for me, I don't find that there's that big of a need to measure, for me. Let that keep cooking. So this is looking really good, but I am going to add a little bit more vegetable stock. Watch the steam because it's hot. Now we're cooking, feeling hot. So now at this point, I'm going to add the mushrooms. I just chopped up some white mushrooms. And now I'm just going to add a little bit of salt. And it just kind of helps bring out the flavors. Just like a pinch. And then I'm going to add a little bit of cracked pepper. Smells so good. So that just needs to go for a little longer. And then we can get ready to plate it up. Alright, now when it's almost done, we're going to add a little bit of thyme, fresh thyme. Yum. I'm just going to let this cook a little bit longer, and I'm going to go grab a plate to get ready to plate this up. So this is all done, and so I'm actually going to have Kevin help me pick this up, put it in here, and then I'll show you what we're going to do with the bacon, and then what else I'm going to top this with. So we just got it in the bowl. So now what we're going to do is I'll show you guys first, see what it looks like. It smells so good. I was just telling Kevin, I think adding some garlic in here would be really good, or you can even make it spicy and add some hot sauce or some chili flakes. I also think would be really good. So then I'm going to take that bacon. Oh my gosh, it's so crunchy. I'm going to put it in. And because it's turkey bacon, it doesn't have a lot of like grease, but I still put it on a paper towel. I'm going to kind of mix that in. And then another difference that I'm doing, and this is what my mom usually does because she does make this for Thanksgiving. She does pistachios and hazelnuts instead of the nuts that it calls for. So we're going to sprinkle the pistachios and the hazelnuts. I think this is the perfect side dish to any Thanksgiving meal. You know, a side of turkey, a little bit of sweet potatoes or mashed potatoes, a big serving of this. I think it's perfect and everyone will enjoy it. So make sure you make a lot of this to share with everyone because when my mom makes it, I know it goes, it flies, and everyone loves it. So I really hope you enjoyed this video and I really hope you try out these 3 super easy and super delicious side dishes and have it at your Thanksgiving meal or a Thanksgiving party. I know they're going to be delicious and I hope you really love them as much as me and my family. So if you make these, please make sure to tag me. So please make sure you give this video a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe so you never miss any of my videos. And I wish you all a very happy Thanksgiving and I will talk to you all very soon. Bye!